Why there is so much division and conflict among the Abrahamic faiths. The covenant God made with Abraham was meant to bring blessing to the whole earth. Why does it look more like a curse to mankind? The gospel is misrepresented for the lack of knowledge and understanding of the covenant. We have the covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, and the gospel, which is a result of what was spoken to Abraham. A covenant is not meant to be accepted in fragments. It is unchanging and eternal. You either embrace it in its fullness or reject it entirely. When you divide it, you reject it. The covenant is the very foundation of God's plan for redemption. Can you reject the Abrahamic covenant, yet still expect the rapture or be prepared for the coming of the Messiah? Genesis 17 verses 1-8 lays out the details of God's covenant with Abraham. I will multiply thee exceedingly. Thou shalt be a father of many nations. I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. Kings shall come out of thee. This is the first part of the covenant, a promise of physical blessing, and we have seen it fulfilled before our very eyes through Ishmael and his descendants. But God doesn't just state it once. He repeats and reconfirms his covenant with Ishmael, ensuring that his word stands unshaken. The evidence is undeniable. The question is, are we willing to acknowledge what has already come to pass? In Genesis 17 verse 20, God's blessing to Ishmael is reaffirmed. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. The next part of the covenant is the everlasting covenant, to be fulfilled through the Messiah, a promise given specifically to Israel. But here's the challenge. If you refuse to acknowledge God's covenant with Ishmael, then the other half of the covenant stands nullified. You cannot separate what God has joined together. The path to the eternal covenant runs through the physical covenant, just as the way to the holy place in the tabernacle first led through the outer courts. One cannot bypass the outer courts and expect to reach the holy place. Will we accept the fullness of God's design, or will we attempt to rewrite what he has already established? The priest did not fly into the holy place of the tabernacle. They had to first pass through the outer courts, where they were cleansed before they could enter the sacred space of the tent. The outer courts, the largest area, represent Ishmael, while the holy place was set apart for Israel, where only the priest could enter after purification. No priest could step into the holy place without first being cleansed in the outer courts. The message is clear. Israel cannot enter the holy place without first making peace with Ishmael. This is exactly what Jacob did when he bowed before Esau. Esau, who stood in the same place to Jacob as Ishmael to Isaac. Reconciliation is not an option. It is the way ordained by God. The holy place contained 3 sacred objects. The lampstand, the table of showbread with 12 loaves, representing Israel, and the altar of incense. By placing the table of showbread there, God made it clear this space was meant for Israel. Beyond the holy place was the most holy place, where only the high priest could enter, the very place where Christ himself entered as our eternal high priest. This was where the Ark of the Covenant rested, where the glory of God descended. But take note, the only way to the Holy of Holies was through the outer courts and the holy place. Yet many today try to bypass this divine order, attempting to leap straight into the Holy of Holies without first passing through the outer courts and the holy place. But God set a path, and his design cannot be ignored. Will we follow the way he has ordained, or will we attempt to take a shortcut that doesn't exist? The tabernacle reveals God's pattern. First, honor God's covenant with Ishmael. Second, uphold the 10 Commandments, the heart and spirit of the Torah. Third, receive the Messiah as the eternal high priest. This is the covenant in its fullness, a divine blueprint woven into the Ark of the Covenant itself. Look closely at what it contains. The tablets of the 10 Commandments, not the entire Torah, symbolizing King Ishmael, the law. The rod of Aaron, representing priest Israel, the chosen people. The jar of manna, signifying the spirit of Elijah, who comes and returns, guiding the children of Abraham back to God's purpose. All of this is covered by the mercy seat, the place where the blood of the sacrifice is sprinkled. And when these elements come together under the mercy seat, The divine order is restored, and then the glory of God descends. This is the true spiritual temple that must be established before any rapture or second coming can take place. If this divine alignment is ignored, then Malachi's prophecy will be fulfilled, bringing not restoration, but utter destruction. The question is, will we build according to God's design, or will we drown in ignorance, unprepared for what is to come? Subscribe to Prophetic Insights for biblical perspectives on end-time events. Stay informed, stay prepared for what's coming. Like, share, and spread the message, and prepare for great and dreadful day of the Lord. Thanks for watching.